All right, we are live. We are live right now. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Kava Club podcast. My name is Will. You guys already know who I am. I am the host of this show. Oh yeah, I'm excited today. I am excited today. I have a very special guest. Somebody I ran into her page on social media. She's one of our Polynesian sisters, all the way from Sydney, Australia. I love their vibes, and yeah, she got me turned up when I was looking through her page. So I really had to reach out to her. I just want to say directly to her, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have you on my show. I'm very blessed, very grateful. Thank you so much. And everybody out there that's watching for the very first time, tuning into the show, thank you so much for watching. And I just want to say, please show some love and support. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And for everybody that's been watching, supporting all my videos, please subscribe. Thank you so much for your love and support, all the positive feedback that actually inspires me, keeps me going, keeps this fire going, y'all, to keep making this content for you guys. But I am excited. Let's get back to the podcast. I'm excited for our special guest today. I know she's ready. She's excited as well. I know it's early in the morning, so very thankful for waking up early in the morning for this podcast. But I'll let her introduce herself real quick. So it's all you.
Hi guys, I'm Imelda. I am Samoan and I'm from Sydney, Australia. Thanks, Will, for having me on your podcast, my first podcast ever. So thank you. I'm excited today to, shed some light on some conversation that may have been swept under the rug within our Polynesian community. And yeah, let's get preachy.
Oh, let's get appreciated. Oh, okay. I see. Oh, you're ready. You're locked and loaded. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Melda. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you joining in. I'm excited for this show. So I guess let's get started. The very first question I'm going to ask you is, how did you grow up?
How did I grow up? So I was born in Samoa. And then I went to school, I think for the first year before we moved over to New Zealand. And then I think by the time I was like 7 or 8, we moved over to Australia for school, and education. I am the eldest of 5.
Oh, okay.
I'm the eldest of 5 now, living with my parents at the moment, and I've got 2 cousins who are staying with us, so it's a big family. But yeah, that's how I grew up.
All right, so that was a real fast one.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to ask you, I'm always interested to finding out how the experience of your childhood is like, because I always feel like that our experiences in our childhood has a very big impact of who we become later on in life.
Yeah.
You did mention you're the eldest daughter, so me being Polynesian myself, I already know being the eldest, I'm not the eldest, I'm the youngest in my family, but I've talked to a lot of friends and also my own eldest brother. That could be a big responsibility, being the oldest. In the family. I think a lot of people always say like the first child is always like the experiment child, trying to
oh my goodness. You're telling me.
The parents are trying to figure out like how to be parents, and like they're using you as like the guinea pig to figure out things before they they have the other kids. So I'm just very interested in hearing your experience growing up as a child, being the oldest. Also, can you talk about your cultural experience growing up within the culture? And what it's like being a woman, being a Samoan woman in the Samoan culture, because I do know that in the Polynesian culture there are a lot of expectations and roles they do expect out of you, and I feel like for women I feel like it's more compounded, because I feel like for guys they just let us be free. There is I am aware there is a double standard of how they treat us compared to how they treat you guys. Just reflecting from my own childhood, and then also the conversation I had with my friends and people that have been on my podcast. So because you just talk about how your experience growing up, being the eldest daughter, and of course like just your experience and of how the culture impacted you, of all the things they expect out of you being a woman.
So growing up, being the eldest, it was hard. It was hard. Like couldn't even get past the mailbox hard. But like I don't blame my parents because like they sacrificed everything to move over to Australia to give us a better life, you know.
Yeah.
Like we had a pretty good life in Samoa, like we weren't poor or anything, like we were stable, but they basically gave up everything for us to have a better future.
Mm-hmm.
So we moved over here. And, you know, I understand because, you know, they're immigrants. They're in a completely new environment where they don't know anyone, they don't trust anyone. So, you know, I wasn't allowed to go anywhere, basically. I was on lockdown.
I love quarantine. Quarantine
Oh
started early for you.
Hell yeah, I've been living my whole life. This is
so this is nothing. This is normal life for you. nothing has changed.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was me growing up. Primary school was rough. I think I went to a majority Asian Catholic school.
Mm-hmm.
And I was bullied, so I hated it. But then once I moved on to high school, you know, it was I went to a public high school, so it was very diverse. We had all cultures, Tongan, Samoans, Asians, Lebanese, Arabs. So yeah, it was all good. I liked it because I got to meet different people from everywhere, different religions as well. It wasn't just, you know, Catholic. And I was brought up in a very strong Catholic house.
Okay.
Like my grandparents are diehard Catholics, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was me growing up. It was hard at first, but then once I turned 18, they kind of, you know, let go a little bit, bit by bit. Also, once I started working, I used to work at Macca's. Yeah. So once I started, you know, earning my own money kind of thing, they trusted me more and more. And then after high school, got my first office job in the city. And I had never caught public transport till I got a job in the city. Like my parents were always, like they had trust issues. Like they would pick me up, drop me off everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Like it was hard. Couldn't go anywhere. But yeah. Once I got a job in the city, they trusted me more and more to go out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. so you're the bubble child. Stay home.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I am interested to hear. You know, because I'm sure you grew up and then you wanted to do things, right? You wanted to do things, and did you ever like communicate that with your parents at all?
At first, no. Like when I was like under their roof, and you know, I was under their, like I'm still under their roof, but like it wasn't till I was making money for myself.
Yeah.
So when I first started working at Macca's, right, my pay wouldn't go to my own account. It went to my mom. And I was working through high school and I got sick of it at one point because I felt like I wasn't working for myself.
Yeah.
So I went online, opened my own account, and then the card comes in the mail. Mom opens it and she chucks it at me. It was the funniest thing ever. She was mad at first, but then she was like, oh, fair enough. Because I'm not going to be motivated to work if my pay is going to you and I'm not getting any of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it wasn't till I started like working for myself and, you know, making my own money, being independent, that they, you know, that then I got the confidence to, you know, bring up stuff that I would want to do. But my parents were never the type to, you know, sort of push you in a certain road or career or whatever you want to do. They were kind of like, you know, whatever makes you happy, you can go do it.
Yeah.
You've just got to work for it. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
It won't be under their expense because they've got like 4 other children to worry about.
Yeah.
No, so in school. Yeah.
No, I want to ask you. I just hear your own perspective, opinion, because you know, because I do know there's a lot of Samoan and Polynesian women that watch the show, and I know a lot of them are on lockdown right now. in quarantine their whole life.
Yeah. Oh
So
God.
so I know. Shout out to all you,
Yeah.
all of you. Um,
My sisters.
yeah. So I'm so interested here. Just looking back now, like, because I really believe that as Polynesians, in order for us, to grow, right, to grow to our full potential in life, when it comes to happiness, when it comes to love, when it comes to success, or whatever you want to do for your life, like,
Yeah.
we have to feel like, number one, I feel like we have to be who we are, and also be willing to experience life. And
Yeah.
one of the feedback I always get from a lot of Polynesian women that grew up similar to you, was they feel like that because they were so sheltered by their parents. By the time they go into real life, that it was really scary. Really scary.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, what was your experience? Because you've been, like you said, you were in lockdown, quarantine your whole life by
Oh
your
my
parents.
God.
By your parents. So how was it for you when you finally went into the real world, getting a
Oh
job,
God.
building relationships with strangers now?
Yeah.
Now you're going out with friends now, have a social life now. And I'm sure you like started meeting people, relationships, dating. And now you're being a big woman, a big girl now.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm interested to hear, because I feel like that, if you've been sheltered your whole life, I feel like then just all of a sudden you just jump into it. That can be really a scary moment. So I always believe, but I do understand where your parents come from as well. I do understand the whole reasoning. I know it can be extreme. Maybe it is extreme, but their intentions is pure. They just want to protect you out of love. They don't want anything to happen to you. So I understand where they're coming from. So I guess, like, I just want to open this conversation with you because I feel like there is a better way to do it, where parents can still have that boundary and keep you protected, but then at the same time allow you Polynesian women to grow naturally, express their natural minds, thoughts, and voices, and do the things they really want to do. Also experience life as well, because I feel like part of life is experiencing things, and then and that's how we learn, that's how we grow, and then especially when it comes to the real world. So yeah, but I'm interested here, being growing up, you're sheltered your whole life, and then boom, you're going to the real world. And then can you share all the things that you went to the real world that was kind of like the whole, was a difficult experience for you because you've been sheltered your whole life?
Yeah. So when I started working at Macca's, that was kind of like the start. And I hated talking to people. I could not stand it. Like, I hated being at the register taking order. Like, I was so shy. Like, I could not stand it. But I wanted to work in the back with the boys and like make the burgers rather than talk to people. So it made me a very shy and I'd say closed off person.
Yeah.
So there is a better way of handling it. Like, like put a curfew maybe. I don't know. Don't lock them up, because it's just gonna make them. They're not gonna know what's gonna happen when they go into the real world, and then that's where they're supposed to grow.
Yeah.
If they don't express themselves, that's just a really sad life to live.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like if they're not, how do I say this? If they're not out being themselves, then how are they supposed to, learn from their mistakes? I think our parents are too scared of us making mistakes, or maybe some mistakes that they've made in their past life, in their past, and that's why they're so strict. But it doesn't help. It's just gonna make them rebel and sneak around. It's better to communicate and know what your child is going through rather than, no, you're wrong, I'm right. You're the kid, I'm the adult, kind of, communication. Yeah, which I can't stand. We used to have that type of communication, but it's a lot better now. But I think it's because I did rebel a little bit. So to, all my sisters on lockdown, just do what you want to do. Like I've learned it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, but like don't push it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just hard. Like I didn't
Okay,
on the money
talk about your rebellious phase. Like, why did you feel like you had to rebel?
because there was no way getting out. Like, I'm gonna get in trouble anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just did it anyways. Like if I didn't get caught, I wouldn't get caught. If I did, then oh well. Yeah, they'll be mad for a bit, but then they'll get over it. So just do it.
So how was the reaction when you got caught the first time?
It was not good. I think by the time I was old enough not to get any hidings, but then again, you're never old enough. I think my parents was just over the whole hiding phase.
Yeah.
So I didn't get smacked anymore. Just a really long lecture.
Yeah.
A very long, like you would not hear the end of it. Just sitting in the living room, just crying my eyeballs out, and they were just freaking lecturing me and making me feel bad.
Yeah.
Like I'm the worst child in the world.
Yeah.
Like I'm useless. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, it was worth it.
So now, you say now it's a lot better. Your communication is a lot better now.
Mm-hmm.
Was that? Did you take the initiative to make it better, or did they take the initiative to make it better?
I think they took the initiative to make it better. Like, I mean, me and my dad were always close. Like, I would open up to him more. But me and my mom was like, we were rough. We never saw eye to eye. It was always bumpy. But I think towards the end of high school, into like my first real job, she could tell that I was going through a lot. And I wouldn't open up about anything. And then she had found out something bad that I did.
Yeah.
And I really thought she was gonna go off. Like I thought her reaction was gonna be like the worst reaction you could ever get. But I think what made it better was her reaction. Like I felt like I could trust her more. And my mom is one of those aunties where everyone goes to for advice. Everyone can open up to. But I was annoyed because like, how do you have that relationship with everyone else but me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so annoyed. I'm like I feel like I can't even open up to you. And then I think once she found out what I did and she, opened up, she confronted me about it. I just couldn't lie anymore, and I bawled my eyes out crying.
Yeah.
And she set it up to like I think the kids were at home, and then she told my dad to take them out. So they went to the shopping mall so we could talk, but she didn't tell them that. She just told him to, take the kids out. And then I sleep a lot on my weekends, so I was sleeping.
Yeah.
And she was just screaming the house down, and I had no idea why. And then she called me into the kitchen and she confronted me about it. And I just couldn't hold it in. I couldn't lie anymore. So I bawled my eyes out crying to her. And she wasn't screaming or anything. She wasn't telling me off. She was just, I think what our parents, it is good intentions, like, what they want for you, no matter how they handle it, because she was nothing but supportive. I think what she was more worried about was my mental health and, me not opening up and, doing something stupid to end my life. She would rather me open up than, she was just worried about my mental health. She wasn't worried about what I did. She didn't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was the breaking point for me.
Yeah.
Like that was when I knew, I can actually tell my mom. Like to this day, I don't think my dad even knows what happened. So it's like, some things just stay between me and my mom.
Yeah.
And yeah, ever since then, she's been like my best friend. I can open up to her about anything, like literally anything and everything. And just all those hard conversations that, you see other Polynesian families and like that they can't even bring up to their parents. Like we now have an open relationship where everything is out in the open. So yeah, it just took that. It just took for me to see that, you know, she'll be nothing but supportive no matter what you do.
Mm-hmm.
All she worries about is your well-being and your mental health. But yeah, that was it for me. Dad has always been chill. Like, I think when I was younger, he was real strict because I was his first and I was a girl.
Yeah.
But then as I got older, it just, yeah, it was, yeah, he's just been chill. Like, and I think because he was a chill person growing up too, like a bit too chill. He was rebellious as well.
Yeah.
Growing up. So yeah, he's always been cool
Okay.
until, you know, yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm happy to see that you guys have a relationship now. So
Yeah.
if everybody's watching, and you know, if you're Polynesian, and you know, I mean, I can relate. You know, growing up, and you know, never really had a open communication relationship with my parents, or even my my grandma was the one who raised me, and my grandma was tough, man. She was she was very strict. So like having like one-on-one conversations, if I look back at it now, you know, I don't think we ever had like one-on-one conversations. It was just more like just hey, hi, you know, just here and there. Or if she, you know, they needed something from me, or need a someone, you guys call it, is it payao or something?
Yeah.
They needed needed you to do something. Yeah, chores. We needed to do something. So that was pretty much our relationship. But as far as like open communication and expressing, you know, because I did go through my own personal struggles as a guy growing up. I never, like I said, I never told anyone. I just kept it to myself because that was just how things were. But I do believe it's very, very important to create some kind of open communication, and especially for all those, you know, if you're watching right now and you're going through a lot of stuff, a lot of struggles, I feel like it's not healthy to keep it in. I feel like, yeah, you know, I don't know how your parents are. I just want to encourage you guys, you know, to try, because you never know, because as hard-headed our parents are can be sometimes, but you'd be surprised that they are, you know, they're willing to listen if you just gotta get through past that. You know, they might yell at you at the beginning or give you a lecture in the beginning.
Yeah.
You just gotta get past that. Yeah, that's just how it's gonna react naturally. But maybe in the initiation of the conversation, especially if you've gone through something, you know, you've done something that can, you know, in your life that you feel like that you're guilty or you're holding it in. I highly suggest you should reach out to your parents, and if your parents are not supportive, then find somebody in the family, you know, whether if it's a sibling, whether it's somebody outside the family, but a friend. But I don't want, you know, like you said, you had it, you're holding that within you, and I don't want, you know, because I feel like that's where the suffering comes in, especially mental health that we go through, is when we hold a lot of those negative emotions in, and we bottle it up. And then one day it's gonna explode.
Yep. That's my fair share.
All right. So I do want to ask you, you know, I know you say you did a bad thing. You know, you don't have to say what the bad thing is, but I want to ask you is how, you know, how was your when you did what you did, like how was the feeling after? Like, because I feel like it's because like sometimes there's so much pressure for a lot of kids to be perfect, you know.
Yeah.
And then when we do fail, it's like, even doesn't matter, even if it's a small failure, you can be like, you can be compounded, and there's a lot of spotlight to make it make it bigger than it really is. And if it is a big failure, then a big mistake, then it's nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
All right. So but one thing, I feel like that's something that we grow up as our Polynesians, like we're raised and taught to be perfect, to have this perfect public image. I know sometimes as Polynesians, our parents use us as like to show the world, you know, our reputation of the family to the kids.
Yeah.
Right. So like, you know, they don't want people to talk about their family, so they want you to be perfect, so people don't talk about your family or criticize how the way they raise you guys. I've seen that so many times. Like,
I know.
you know,
that's so sad.
All right. So that's why there's so much pressure for our kids to, you know, live a certain way, be perfect, especially for women. But then, you know, when we do make a mistake, you know, we're ashamed of it, and we don't. and that really, and because we don't learn to move on from it, because like, at this point in my life, I realized that I'm not perfect. I'm gonna make mistakes, and but my mistakes is not gonna define me, and what I do for the rest of my life. So if I make a mistake, I take responsibility, I learn from it, and I move on. All right. So I want to ask you, when you went through that, when you did that bad thing, and like, how did you feel, and then like, what was your like, how did you see your life from that moment, because you just made that big mistake?
I think once I opened up to her, it was a weight lifted off my shoulder, honestly, because like now I don't have to lie anymore. Like she finally knows.
Yeah.
But she wasn't mad. Like she was just like, she was disappointed. She was disappointed, and all she did was she wouldn't force me to do anything. She would just advise, you know what to do the right thing. Kind of like, I raised you better than this, but in a gentle way. But yeah, that's how I felt. When I was doing it, it was a lot of guilt.
Yeah.
A lot of guilt, but it happened.
Can I ask you, if you don't mind, when you were doing it and knowing that it was wrong, like, why did you keep doing it? Like, what was the reason behind it? Was it? Yeah, I'm interested to hear that, because
Good question. I don't know.
Was it like a rebel? You just rebelling because I'm very interested, because sometimes in life we do things, and there's a reason behind it, like to feel something, even if it's bad, if something's missing.
Yeah.
So I'm just interested, if you look back at it now, and I don't know if you can remember that part, but like when you were doing something that it was bad, but why did you keep doing it?
Yeah. I don't know. That's actually a really good question. I'm actually thinking, like, why?
You think it was like just being rebellious, or I don't know. You thought about that there?
It wasn't out of rebellious. It kind of just happened.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But I knew it wasn't right. I knew that, but still went there.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't have an answer for that now.
Okay.
But maybe that's something I need to look into within myself. Good question.
It's all good. It's all good. No, because I feel like, and just based on my own conversations, because I have a lot of friends, right? Like, they grew up similar to you. If they parents are very strict, they weren't able to express themselves. They feel like they weren't heard, or their parents appreciate them. Because I know our parents can be very nonverbal when it comes to how they show affection. It's like,
a lot of tough love.
Tough love. So
a lot of tough love.
Yeah. So a lot of times, like, and they always say, communication is 80% body language. So like, we did. That's why. And I know a lot of parents. It's like, I'm your parent. Like, I love you already. You know that already. I made you. I created. I feed you. I clothe you. You have a shelter. You have a roof. That's my love.
Yeah.
that's how I show love, right? And hopefully, like, if you're a parent, you're older generation, I hope you watch and listen to this, understand that it is, how important it is. But I do understand. And based on my conversation, go back to my conversation with my friends, and when I see people, they're unhappy, they don't feel that love or appreciation, or maybe communication with their parents. There is this void of like emptiness within them, of like either sadness or not feeling love. And sometimes we go out there to the world and do things to kind of feel that. And that's why I have a lot of friends. Sometimes they'll go drink, they go party, they go do drugs. And it's not because they really, really want to. And even then, sometimes the things they do, it tends to hurt them. But it's not, but deep down they're just doing it just to like feel something,
fill a void.
Feel a void that they were lacking. So if you are going through that right now, if you're watching this, going through that right now, you have a big mistake. You keep making a mistake. I just want to encourage you to to talk to somebody, and if you can talk to your parents about it. But it's not good, to keep doing things that hurt you, and you knowing for a fact it doesn't help you at all in your life, and kind of add value to your life. And just because you make that mistake doesn't mean that you are a mistake. Just as we all make bad choices, but it doesn't define you as a person. What defines us as people is the decisions that we make today. So regardless of what you did yesterday, if you make new decisions today, then that's who you are today. And that's, just progress and growth. Anything you want to add to that? Anything you want to add to anybody that's going through something you're going through? Anything you want to add to that?
No, I think you covered it all.
All right. Yeah. So yes, and also because I feel like because we don't have this often healthy communication with our parents and talk about things in a healthy way, and also talk about mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. Then whenever we make mistakes, we don't really take responsibility for it. It's more because we're so afraid of the shame and the criticism and judgment. We actually try to hide it or run away from it instead of trying to take responsibility and learn from it and move on from it. And I feel like that's with that. Mistakes is important because there's a lesson behind it, and that's the most good thing about the mistake is to learn from it so you can correct yourself. But I feel like people don't go through that process of correction and taking responsibility because of the shame and the criticism. So and
so they just keep it in.
You keep it in, or keep repeating. Keep
repeating the cycle.
Turn up, y'all. Turn up. Just keep turning up. Keep turning up,
y'all. 100% true. Like, gosh.
Yeah. So yes. Go ahead. Yeah.
I reckon that's the best thing about mistakes, though.
Yeah.
That's why whenever I'm going through something, or I'm like, life is like a roller coaster. And I feel like when I'm down, like I know that there's going to be a reason behind this. It's just going to take time to pass. And then you'll see why.
Exactly. Yeah. Roller coaster ride. I like that. Roller coaster.
Yeah. And your experiences through life can always help someone else in down the road.
Yeah.
Who's going through the same thing. And, you could be a blessing to someone today because of your mistakes.
Of course. And just like you said, mistakes is a normal part of life, y'all. And no one is perfect. Even our parents made mistakes, even if they don't admit it. But our parents made mistakes as well.
Yeah.
But like I said, the most important thing is the mistake is just learning from it and moving on from it, being a better person. And like I said, being an example for somebody else. Especially if you're the eldest. Be an example, y'all. Be an example.
Pressure.
I'm not trying to give nobody pressure, but I'm just saying, no pressure.
Yeah.
But I just like to say, if you're not gonna do it for you, but do it for the people you love. When it comes to mistakes.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So that's your childhood. That was a little good flashback for you. So I want to go, going into adulthood. Now you're an adult. I want to do it. Can you talk about any experiences being an adult? Because I feel like adulthood is where we kind of figure out who we are. So I'm just interested in you, your mind, your perspective, how you think, your ideas, the things you're passionate about. And I feel like that's part of childhood, especially being an adult, is we really figure out, okay, this is who I am. This is what I like. This is what I'm passionate about. And of course, we have to find people that are in line with us of who we are, finding our tribe, finding a little tribe. Because that's part of life, is part of a big majority of part of our journey in life, finding out who we are, and part of our journey in life also, I feel like, is finding the right people that's going to be with us in our life. So can you talk about that? Now you're an adult, and now you have a job now, everything. Now you have freedom. You got some freedom now from your parents. You have a better relationship with your parents now, and now you're just deep into the real world and trying to figure out who you are and the right people for your life. So you can talk about that.
So gosh, adulthood. There was a lot of pressure growing up. So growing up in Sydney, Australia, we were trying to find a house. So we finally found one, and it wasn't the fanciest house. It was like this really old, breaking down house. And my dad had fixed it up. So because he fixed it up, the rent was pretty low. And that's the house we lived in for so many years. And me growing up, I knew my family wasn't in the best financial state. Like it wasn't hard to hide, like you could see it. So we didn't live in the best house, but we always grew up with what we needed. So, school, clothes, food on the table, education. But I knew that as an older sibling, there was this pressure on me to, make it out after high school, do good in school, make something of myself, have a stable job and help out with the parents. I knew that was my duty. As an older child. I know that's kind of like traditional and stuff, but the way I was brought up, I believe that your duty is to your parents and your elders, and that's where all your blessings come from. And I feel like, because like I did complain at first, not gonna lie. Like, I want to go out there, I want to do this, I want to travel, all these things. But I feel like because I came to terms with it, and I worked hard. First started at Macca's, and then I think after high school I was a bit lost because I was so sheltered. Like you said, I was lost because I was so sheltered, and my parents didn't really direct me in any path of career. They were just like, whatever you want to do, you do it. And I was so lost. I was like, what am I gonna do? So I was working at a supermarket after school, and I was just deciding, what am I gonna do? Like, there was so much pressure on me to either go study something that's gonna lead me to a good career that earns decent money, gets me a stable job, or go find a job. So I kind of did both. I was applying and applying and applying, and I got rejected so many times. And I was applying for like entry level reception roles and stuff like that. And I got so rejected so many times. And I just got sick of it. And I was like, you know what? Okay, maybe I gotta go study. So I was looking up courses at like TAFE. So we call it TAFE in Australia. It's like a community university college kind of thing that everyone goes to. So I was like, all right, what do I want to study? So I don't know how, but I ended up in the legal section, and I was doing like legal services. I don't even know how I ended up there because I failed that class in high school. Like, I dropped out. I dropped out in high school, but I knew like I had to do something. Like, I wasn't getting as many shifts at the supermarket. So I was like, I just jump into this and see where it goes. So I was just doing that, and then I was still applying. So the reason I applied for the course is because I gave up after being rejected so many times. And then I was still applying, and then I got an email back for an interview in the city. And then I was like, oh, at that point I was like defeated. I was like, oh, what's the point? I'm not even going to go to this interview. Like, I can't be bothered. And it wasn't for my girl cousin who was already working in the city. She was like, you know what, just go. Like, what have you got to lose? And then I was like, oh, fine. I'll go. So I got up, went to the interview. It was all great. Like, it was just a very casual conversation. And it was for a role for a receptionist at this law firm, this small law firm. And then I think that same night I got a call back saying that they want me to start. And I was like, sweet. So I got my contract. I was like, thank God. Praising the Lord and everything. Because I was praying as well. I was like, oh God, lead me somewhere. So growing up, we always had to contribute as well, send money home when we need to. And I feel like me today, I've been blessed in so many ways because I have served my duty as the eldest, and to my parents and to my elders, because of how my career has taken off. I feel like I've been so blessed because of it. I may complain at first, but I know after I do it, but as long as it's done. So yeah, I started working at the law firm for about 6 months. And then 6 months after, the place just wasn't doing it for me. So I kept looking for other jobs. But that first job, that first role was like the footstep into, you know, working in office spaces, and, you know, like in an office. And growing up, my parents, like when I was in high school, I wanted to like just leave and go to work to help out my family. Like I was like, you know, I think after high school I'll go do like warehousing or something. But I didn't realize how much potential I actually had now that I am where I am today. So yeah, I finished up at the law firm. I was going through a really bad relationship. And oh my God, towards the end of that job, it was near the end of that relationship too. It was just crazy. And I could not focus. I was like, I was in a toxic relationship for so many years. And like, I reckon it was the reason why I lost my job, because I couldn't focus on anything. I couldn't, you know, do my job properly. So they gave me the option to, you know, they gave me a couple of weeks to look for something else because it wasn't working out. And then I was like, oh God, praying to the gods again. I was like, hey man, and it's been a while, but can you help me out here? But yeah, I started applying, and then another opportunity popped up to work in office spaces, like leasing them out, and it was a reception role where they lease out like office spaces, and companies, different sorts of companies, like rent it out. So yeah, it was like God closed one door, or two doors, that relationship and that job, and then opened a new one. And I was at this role for almost 3 years, and every year I was just progressing. Like after that relationship, I could finally focus on myself, and work was my outlet. So work was my outlet. I put everything into work. I was working like crazy. So I was still working at the supermarket. So I would work in the city on the weekdays, and then at the supermarket on weekends. Like I think 6 days, sometimes 7. But yeah. And yeah, I just knew I had to help my family out, get them stable, get in better like living condition. Like where we went wasn't bad, but like it could have been better. It was just this old 3-bedroom house, like a massive backyard. And then I think 2, maybe 3 years ago, the owner of the house passed away. So it was going back to, I think the property was going back to the government or something. And they put it up for sale. So I had to look for another place. And my aunt owned a property, and she had one coming up, and we agreed to move there. And I knew, me and my brother, it was our duty to, you know, start paying rent once we move into that house, because it's much bigger and it's much more expensive. And I felt like my parents are getting on as well. Like I want them to soon stop working. And then my brother finished school as well, and then he started working. So we figured, you know, it's perfect. We can both contribute. Mom can just focus on the bills until she's sick of working, and until we're like, you know, got better jobs. So yeah, stayed at that job for 3 years, and I started out as a receptionist. And then my last role there was assistant manager before I had moved on. So recently in my role now, I am currently working for the government. So it's like the New South Wales State Parole Authority. So once that opportunity came up, like I said, I believe I've been so blessed because I've contributed in the way that I should be, or the way that I've been brought up in, you know, the old traditional, you know, all your blessings come from your elders kind of thing. So whenever they need money, I would be like, oh God, are you serious? because I want that financial freedom. I want to be able, like, I feel like when we grow up and we, are in our teenage years and our going to our adult years, we see a lot of other ethnicities, and I don't know, I guess you call it the Palangi way, how they have that financial freedom to, travel and do whatever they want without having to worry about their parents. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I do want that, but me personally, I have come to terms with like a plan in mind that, once the parents are settled, I can go do all those things. Just give me like 2 years. I was like, give me 2 years and then I'm out of here. So that's my plan for now. Now that I've got a really secure, stable job, and my brother is working as well, we can work towards, saving for a place of our own that we can call our own. And instead of paying rent, we're actually paying off the house. So our parents will be settled. And then, once the little ones grow up as well, they can start contributing, but like it wouldn't be as much of a financial strain on us because we're all contributing and there's like 5 of us.
Yeah.
And then we can all take turns, traveling the world, getting out of here. Me right now, I'm like, gosh, I want to move to another state. I want to move out so bad, but I know I can't. I don't have it in my heart to do that.
Yeah.
To my parents.
Yeah.
So yeah, just saving for now, and then once they're settled, I can gap. Like, see you later. I'll be back in a couple of months, maybe a year.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's adult life now. Just working, paying rent, saving. Just trying to plan like little getaway trips here and there, so I don't go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I'm handling adult life right now. But yeah.
All right. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, by the way. Appreciate that.
Okay.
I think that the life that you just shared a little bit, I can think of a lot of kind of just thought about a couple of my Polynesian friends and they're probably living the same life.
Yeah.
So I'm interested, I want to ask, out of say, I guess out of high school, where did you see yourself going? Like, did you have like any idea where your life was going? Did you have a dream? Like, or did you already have like expectation of what you're supposed to be as a woman? Because I feel like, I'm just interested. I'm interested to hear, like, what did you think your life was gonna turn out to be out of high school? Like, looking back.
I feel like out of high school, I didn't really have the time to think about, my hopes and dreams and what I wanted to pursue in life. So I was literally just going with the flow. My main focus was, I gotta help mom, dad, because I was sick of seeing them struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was sick of seeing it. And I wanted things of my own, I had things of my own that I wanted to do. Like, I think traveling was at the top of the list. Yeah, it was just traveling, really. Career-wise, I had no idea what the heck I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But that's why I love that like that second job that I had, that second office job that I had, because we were leasing out offices to so many companies. You got to see sort of like a variety of, different companies. So you could see what, maybe I could do this. Maybe this is what I want to do. But other than that, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I just knew I had to get money somehow and start helping out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, I want to ask you also, what was the life that your parents? I know you yourself had no idea, but what was like the what life did your parents want you to live? Did you ever have talks about that? Like, what kind of life they wanted you to live right out of high school?
They didn't really. No, we didn't really have that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really have that conversation, like what life I kind of wanted to do.
or they expected of you
I
doing
guess
that?
it's because we were just so focused on, how do I say this? Trying to get above water, like,
Yeah, trying to survive. Yeah.
Trying to survive kind of thing. So yeah, I guess they just wanted a life better
Yeah.
than what we were, than what we had
Yeah.
growing up. Yeah.
Okay. And now,
Yeah.
and then now your main focus right now, this is just to figure out a way to, take care of your parents, make them stop
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
And then of course, you get to leave and travel the world.
Oh, yeah. I'm settled with the fact that I'm gonna be that one auntie that shows up to my family like once a year. I was gonna be all over the place.
Oh, unless you find unless you find your soulmate, on the journey. No?
No? Give me a couple more years. That's their topic like a lot lately. They're like, oh, I want you to, look for someone like,
you talk about your parents?
Like my parents, yeah.
Oh, they want you to get married now?
They want me to be in a relationship with someone, but I'm just like,
no. When they say relationship, they really mean marriage. That's
yeah,
what parents.
They really mean.
Like, you're married. They want you married.
It can be lonely sometimes. I'm like, that's fine. I'm good. But yeah, just give me a couple more years. I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, you just disappointed a lot of the guys who are watching this right now. They thought they had a shot, then you just shut it down. You just shut it.
Yeah, right.
Just what I'm saying, just keep your options, keep it open. You never know. No, yeah, about no. It's like thank you for sharing, by the way, because for me that's just like you're what you just talked about. I've seen it so many times, and the same thing. For my household when I grew up, was growing up, and our family, we survived. We weren't rich, and we weren't extremely poor, but we did enough to make sure there was food on the table, and our financial responsibilities.
Yeah.
And then I guess the biggest challenge for me is just I'm trying to encourage kids to figure out a way what we can do to grow as Polynesians. So that way we can break this, we can break the cycle. So so that way we take care of our parents, and that way our parents are taken care of. At the same time, we take care of ourselves, and be able to live our life and be happy as well.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest challenge, because and I get what you're saying is like I've been there, and where I had to make a choice. It's either keep financing what my parents, what my family asked of me, or like financing my own personal dreams of what I wanted to do. And that's and so it's really, really hard, because there is no right answer. If you want to stay home and take care of your take care of the financial responsibility, and I totally understand that. I understand it, but it's just, for me, it's just. But then at the same time, I do see a lot of people make a decision to go, and then even though it caused a lot of friction, but then all of a sudden they they reach their goals and dreams, and they reach their destination, what they want to do. So it's a really thing. It's one of the most difficult things to do as a Polynesian child, because we're so deep rooted in our family, and for everybody out and I get it. The struggle is real. So but like I said, the one thing I can't say is, if you can jump in anytime you want, if you want to add to this. But one thing I can say, do what's best for you, but just make sure you're happy. So and that's something I can just say. Make sure you spend some time for yourself, because I know how hard it is to constantly take care of your parents and your family, and I understand you have to do it. But don't forget to take time, for yourself a little bit, and and do some things for yourself. Buy some things for yourself, whatever you want to do. But don't forget to take time and take care of yourself and be happy. That's all thing I can say. Because there is no right or wrong answer. I feel like it's like, what do you stay, you take care of your family, or go out and venture to the world, do your thing, live your dream.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's really depends on your situation. So, but all I can say is, whatever you do, make sure you're happy. So if you please just, don't just, because I don't just like work nonstop and never taking the time to take care of your mental health, take care of your body, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Make sure you're happy, whatever you're doing with your life. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at that point now where it's like, it's really your gamble, and it does depend on the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
How bad it is. So in mine right now, it's like, I'm working and, helping my parents out, but I'm also carving out the time to, plan these little trips so I can get away.
There you go.
I don't go insane.
Yeah. There you go. So I'm glad. Yeah, and that's something I can say. It's like, you know what's best for you, and you know what's best for your family. Do what's best for you and for your family. But don't forget to take some time out of your day and take care of yourself. Yeah. So that's all I can say. Be happy, y'all. I want you to be happy. Be happy. I do want to talk about. I know you did mention you were in a toxic relationship. Since you kind of brought it. Since you kind of brought it up, I do want to talk about that. Dating and one thing I do want to. I know dating and finding love is really one of the biggest decisions that we have to make in life. Finding a life partner, and I know oftentimes, I know we talked about it earlier in the podcast. If you're because we're sheltered as Polynesians, then we don't, like you said, when you graduated high school, you had no idea what you want to do for your life, right? And the same thing when it comes to love. When we go into finding love as Polynesians, we don't know what to do. We don't know what love is. We don't know what a relationship is. We don't know what a healthy relationship is. It's like these are
you're basically just experimenting.
Exactly, and that's why I feel like that's why I feel like when I have kids one day, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna have these discussions with my especially my daughters early. Explain to them what love is. What the things what a man should do. I want to prepare them, because at the end of the day, I don't want them to go through the experiment phase.
Yeah. Trust me, I want it.
All right. So I will definitely make sure that, because I didn't say I'm the same way. When I grew up, I never had that talk with my parents, and then just love was dating. We just figured out on the go. We figured out on the go. So I want to ask you, because I do at the end of the day, I want everybody to find love. There's a special kind of impact in your life when you find somebody that really loves you, that really appreciates you, and you can share a life together. So I do know that nobody wants to die lonely. I just feel like that's even those people out there right now have the really hardcore, like, I don't need a man. I don't don't lie, y'all. Keep it real.
Men are trash.
Men are trash. I don't need a man.
I don't need a man. I want a man though.
Hey, come on, y'all. Keep it real, y'all. Y'all know y'all don't want to die lonely. Come on. I know. I get it. I can't.
Oh, you're a savage today.
I'm not a savage. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real.
Facts.
Even guys do it too. All girls are, those are hoes, and that's like, dude, come on, man, come on. Like, let's be real. You had a bad relationship. You had a bad single person. That doesn't mean all the guys are bad and all the girls are bad. Yeah. But take your time to heal. Let it out. All men are trash. It's all good. Let that out. Keep saying it. But once you're done saying it, settle down a little bit, and let's get back out there, guys. Let's get back out there.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you if you don't mind sharing an experience, because I do want to just kind of add some value to all those young men and girls out there, because I do want everybody to find the right type of love and also know what love is, because sometimes our love could be really, really be like misconstrued depending on how you grew up at home, right? Because if you grew up if you grew up at home and you never saw your parents have affection with each other, then that's honestly that's what you're gonna think a healthy relationship is. Because when guys don't show you no affection, even though you do crave affection because you're a woman, then you think that guy, okay, he's not showing me affection because my dad never showed me affection. So you think that's what healthy love is. But honestly, the reality is, if a guy wants you, really appreciates you, he will show that to you. And if he'll treat you that way. And if he doesn't treat you that way, that clearly shows his intentions for you. And you should go find somebody else that'll treat you the way you should be treated. But we don't know this information, right? Yeah. So can you just talk about your experience and what made it toxic? And I want to ask you, what was your expectations of relationship going in? That's really interesting to hear. All right. Well, what did you think love was going into the relationship? What was your idea of love? What was your idea of what a relationship was? Or how, what was your idea of what a man should be in a relationship? And then go into that relationship and realize that,
this ain't it.
This ain't it.
This ain't it.
And then also, can you talk about like the warning signs, the flags that you start the red flags, so that way everybody that's listening can kind of we kind of educate them and add them and give this experience to them, so that way they can kind of be aware of it when they go into their love life. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Going into the relationship, it was all rainbows and sunshine at first.
The honeymoon phase.
Honeymoon phase, yes, 100%. And then I think by the second year, it just I think that he didn't know it either. Like he didn't know what love was either. He didn't know what a proper relationship was. We both didn't know what we were doing, so it was like the first time for everything kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think we found out some things about ourselves. I think you find out a lot about yourself when you're in a relationship. Like it turned toxic because he was a very jealous person, and like it was to the point where I couldn't even have any guy friends around me because I had given him no reason to think that anything was going on with my guy friends. So I found out he was a very jealous person, and then it kind of got out of hand, and he became very possessive, wanted to know where I was, like literally my every step, my every move. That's how it got really toxic. And it was kind of like one-sided. It was like I can do this but you can't. So it's like, and I turned very petty. I turned very petty because it was like, oh, I couldn't hang out with my guy friends. Okay, then you can't hang out with any girlfriends. I don't care if it's your best friend. You can't hang out with them. Like if I'm gonna do this, then you're gonna do that. But just wasn't listening. It wasn't open to compromising. So it was very one-sided. That was my experience.
Did you guys communicate?
At first, yes. And then the lies started. The lies started. He started hiding things from me because he didn't agree. He didn't agree that if you're going to tell me to do something, I expect the same from you. He didn't agree, and he still did what he did. So that's where the lie started. And then just compulsive lying about everything. And then because we would get into arguments and we would get mad at each other, it just got worse because he would rather not tell me. He would rather not tell me the truth because he'd think I'd be mad. But it makes me even more mad that you didn't tell me the truth. Like I would rather know than you lied in my face again and again and again. So that's what happened. And then some cheating happened. So that was at first I had never been, that was like my first relationship. So I had no idea how to feel if I'd been cheated on. I was just like, oh, okay. But then as time progressed, as the relationship got stronger and my feelings got stronger, I was also toxic. Like it wasn't just him. Like I became a possessive person as well. I became a jealous person. Like it drives you insane when you have that type of toxic cycle going on. because then you're always like on guard. You're always worried about what they're doing. There's just no trust. And if there's no trust, you're just gonna go insane wondering like 24 hours a day, like what the heck is he up to? Is he cheating? But it was a world of lessons, because I reckon that relationship taught me everything and the standards that I want to set for myself in my future relationships now. And just how to be treated properly. My standards of a relationship growing up, I never saw my parents like they weren't affectionate people, but I'd say I was a hopeless romantic because of all the shows I grew up watching, like all the romantic shows. And I swear, every single show, every single movie, there's always some type of love line in the storyline. So how can you not? But yeah, I'd say I was an affectionate person. Like, yeah. So like my upbringing didn't really have much, like, seeing my parents and stuff. But that's my personal experience. That's because I was always like, I was always binge watching some show that had to do with love, and it's hard to get away from any show that doesn't have anything to do with love. So it was like, I wanted it all. I wanted the flowers, the romantic gestures, the trips that you see, especially when you're exposed to like social media and you see all these couples, all these celebrities. It's like, But yeah, that was me when I was young, and that's what I thought what love was. It's all rainbows and sunshine. Nothing bad's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then you learn a lot. You learn a lot about yourself. But yeah, I'm grateful for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for it, because now it's like, oh, you fucked up. Okay, get out. There is no second chances here.
No second chances.
Because your mistake is a choice. You chose to do that. You always have a choice. And that's a reflection of who you are and what your intentions were for me.
Yeah.
So, if you messed up, then it's not gonna work out.
I know.
Yeah. Just done repeating the cycle. And I reckon it's been a blessing, because I have so many friends. So like my siblings, especially, that go through the same thing now, and I'm like, dude. And it's just repetitive. Like I see it. I see what I was going through. And it's because of how you feel. You're so blinded, because you love them. You're so blinded by their actions. Like you think everything is good about them. Like you can't think anything wrong. Like you'll be mad at first, but then you'll get over it because you love them and you want it to work out so bad. But they're just going to keep repeating that cycle, and you're going to keep getting stuck and keep repeating the same story to other people, and they're going to keep telling you, just got to end it. Yeah.
When did you get to the point when did you realize, like, did you end it or he ended it?
It's funny. He ended it.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't be with anyone else. So it was like, all right, we're done. I'm gonna end this. But if I can have you, no one else can have you. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell?
But usually, I think I saw a quote, like, whenever that relationship ends, it's like you can usually see the person that was really invested in the relationship depending how they move on forward. Sometimes the people that was really, really into it, they usually take time to recover from that relationship, because you were really invested into it. And and if somebody just after that just moves on easily, then you can kind of
they mentally left ages ago.
They've been left, and then you just made it a reality now, so they can finally move on. So what you're going through is like, I see that a lot. I do have some young friends. I do have friends and family members, and they struggle. And I was like, it's not a bad thing. It just shows you what kind of person you are. Like, you're a loving person. So the love that you showed that person was real and was genuine. And it's not a reflection. It has nothing, and then how they treated you has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. There's nothing wrong with your love. You just gave it to the wrong person. So you just take your time and go through your process, but then, like, just when you find that right person, and you don't change the way you love, because that's the worst thing you do.
Yeah.
Is, become bitter and cold and start saying all men are trash.
Look, it's a phase and it's a part of the process.
Yes,
so.
yeah. You have to go through that. Yeah, I mean, it's all good. Go through that phase. But like I said, it's a phase. It's not a permanent, permanent way of life.
Yeah.
So now when you go into a relationship, what's the first thing you can look for?
Time. Someone who can give me their time and their undivided attention.
Yeah.
Like, really, that's all a girl wants.
Yeah.
Is your time. Like, respect, communication is key. We have to talk about it. If you have an issue, let's talk about it. Let's not beat around the bush and play these petty games. And just communicate how you feel, what you're going through. That's pretty much my top 3. Oh, and loyalty. Duh.
Yeah, duh.
Duh. Yeah, someone loyal. Loving, family oriented. Someone who can understand how Polynesians are. Yeah. Or is willing and open to learning about the culture and how things are run, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's something I always noticed. When we were younger, I'm not gonna lie. When you're younger, all you don't really care about like the inner values, and all you care about is the physical. What looks on the outside. I'm not gonna lie. That's how I was. I just see something. Oh my God, I'm in love.
Player.
Oh, I'm in love. What's up? I'm in love. I'm in love with you, girl.
Oh, you're bad, man.
I know we all go through that phase. Oh man, but I realized after after you go through the honeymoon phase and I really get to know the girl themselves, and they're like, oh my God, they're like, oh shit. We don't really see things where like our values and our goals and stuff, and how we see things are opposite and are not aligned. And
that's another thing that's been so hard to find lately is someone who has sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Someone who has like a vision and a goal for themselves, who want to go somewhere and not just and
also like you said, like vision and goal, but it's also aligned with your vision and goals as well, so you guys can share and go in the same way. I just realized for myself that I met a lot of girls, and as pretty as they were, but then I saw that my values and how I saw things and didn't align, and then we were totally opposite. But then of course we're in the honeymoon phase. I'm trying to force it to work. I'm trying to force things to work because and I think also like social media had a culture now. We want to we want to be in a relationship. We don't want to be lonely. We don't want to be seen as single. And I was forcing a lot of things, and also this is something I do also, like, and I never do it no more. Is like I pretend to be a different. I pretend to be somebody else when I'm with them.
Yeah, you can't be true to yourself.
Like I'm like I because I don't know, because on social media you can go on social media and like look at a girl's profile and see what she wants in a man, and then I just like imitate that to get
the girl.
This is the social media, but then like it's cool in the beginning, but then I was like, dang, I can't just keep doing this, playing this persona and this facade of a person. Like I can't really. And then of course once I really try to reveal my true self, and then just pushback. They don't agree or like of the things I like, or then but then of course as time goes and mature, you realize that not to pay attention to all the physical stuff. The physical stuff is nice I mean, it's nice, but I realized that meeting certain people, that the value of meeting somebody that's aligned with your goals and visions, like you said, gives you their time. That's a big thing, y'all. Like I'm telling you, if people if they like you, they'll give you their time.
They'll make it work.
They'll make it work.
They'll make it work.
They'll text back.
I don't care how busy your schedule is. You will make it work if you like someone.
Exactly. Like they'll text back to you. They'll respond back to you. That time is a big indicator of somebody's interest. I don't know what you said. What you said time, and then you said, I know you said loyalty. That's true. Loyalty. That's. I'm saying if they there's no justification for cheating, y'all. I don't know if you do this. You see this a lot, because I see this a lot with a lot of like if somebody cheats, like especially I see this a lot of girls now in this growing up, like they're more forgiving now. But I don't know why. It's like cheating now. It just becomes like, if a guy does it, it's like it's it's like it's got to a point now. I've seen a lot of girls where if a guy cheats, they already expected that to happen. Like, well, all guys cheat.
Yeah.
They're like false. False.
It's the majority.
No. I think it's just. I think it's just. This is a little bad. Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second.
Ooh, can't see you.
No. It's just it's just like we just got a bad rap.
Yeah.
No, it's just like
it just depends on the person's experience with
So I see that, and girls too. Girls can be girls can be like that too.
Oh, they can be pretty bad too.
Yeah,
actually.
But I see that a lot. Like I see that like cheating is like somebody cheats, like they're just like they already expect it. It's like I mean it's the culture, and I feel like when somebody crosses that line, you gotta, because if you forgive it once, you already know
they're gonna do it again.
They're gonna do it, and then of course
they know in their mind.
Exactly.
They know in their mind that they could be forgiven again.
Exactly, and of course if you caught and if you caught them, that doesn't necessarily mean that's their first time. You just caught them. At that time. So I think it's really, really important. For a lot of people to take time to learn about love. Self-love is important. Learning about self-love, loving yourself first. And I feel like the best advice I tell people, if you want to attract the right type of person for you, it's just like be yourself and just focus on yourself. Because I feel like it's the law of attraction. It's like if you do good things, you love yourself, be yourself, then somebody will look at you, and because and see the type of person you are, because you're open about it and you're not trying to hide it. And because I feel like the most important thing in the beginning is like transparency, like being open about everything, telling them your intentions, telling them what your values, telling them what you want to do for your life, telling them where you're going for your life, telling them your expectations of what you're looking for a relationship. I feel like that's because I feel like in the beginning nobody's communicating, right? We're all trying to pretend like this person to like each other.
But I feel like that's the most attractive thing about a guy, is if they're open about all this stuff, and like they're honest about their intentions and stuff. Just no bullshit.
No, that's true. Like I feel like because I can totally relate, because like looking back on all relationships that never worked out for me, is just because in the beginning I want to take responsibility, but in the beginning I try to be somebody I try to be the man that they wanted me to be, and just act that part, and then later on in life, I just realized, like, we spend time with each other, like, this is not fitting. This is not fitting together, and we're just totally opposites of what we want to do for our life. But even though the love is real, but it's just like we can't fit, and then that's where so much time is invested. And also sometimes you do realize like the true nature of somebody. You can see when somebody gets angry. You can see somebody how they judge and criticize somebody else. And oh dang, I didn't know you had that. I didn't see that side of you. So I feel like the transparency in the beginning is really big. So for like all girls and guys, like, don't be afraid to, in the beginning of a relationship, to like tell them exactly what your intentions are,
Mm.
What do you do? Like what your goals are, what your values are, and if they're intimidated and if they're intimidated and they're like what you say and they're afraid of it, then that's not the
They're
one.
not ready.
Yeah,
They ain't ready.
They ain't ready. But
Yeah.
then one day, if you, but I'm telling you, if you keep going out there, eventually you're gonna meet a person like, oh my God, I'm the same way. Like I'm looking for somebody just like you, and then high five each other, and you get on a horse, and you ride off to the sunset.
It's actually something I would do. Get on a horse and ride on the beach.
So, hey, but you did mention something I think that's pretty cool. I want to discuss it with you. So I know you mentioned in a relationship having guy friends. So I'm interested to hear your perspective on it. I think that's a topic a lot of people talk about. Do you think it's okay for guys to have girlfriends, and do you think it's okay for you to have guy friends?
I think it depends on the history with that guy friend or that girlfriend.
Okay.
And then again, I think no. Because I saw this thing on TikTok and it's like, your parents are married, right? Do they have guy friends? Do they have girlfriends? Like guy best friends and girl best friends that come around the house? And I'm like, huh. Yeah. So there's no way in hell, no. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That's a good discussion, but
so if you met the right person, say you met a good guy, right? You met a good guy, and he's everything you were looking for him. He has a horse, he's gonna ride into the sunset. But he asked you if he doesn't want you to have guy friends. Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm willing to respect his wishes. If he was that, like, if he was gonna be the one, hell yeah, worth it.
Okay.
100%. But it doesn't mean I'm just gonna be like, I'm not talking to you forever, but it's like I'm gonna respect my wishes and keep my distance. But yeah.
Do you really believe a guy could just be a friend to you just as a friend?
No.
Thank you. I'm just that's
no. No. It doesn't matter how long they're gonna stick around. They always have the intention of getting with you.
Yes.
Like
So
you cannot just be friends.
Thank you. So I wanted. Thank you that you said that, because that's one thing I wanted to tell all these girls out there. There is no such thing as a guy friend. There's no such thing. It does not exist. Unless it's gay. Unless it's gay.
Yes.
And plus, I'm nothing against gay people. I love it. I'm not just saying I love you all. Yeah. And if you're gay, but I'm just saying unless that person is gay, but there's no such thing as a guy friend. There's no guy that will spend time with the girl just to stay in the friend zone.
Exactly.
The reason why that guy is staying with the friend with you, he's just waiting for that moment. He's just waiting.
Guys will wait for years.
Exactly.
Like, damn.
They will wait. Even if you're married, they will wait for you. I've seen guys.
Seriously, I know.
I've seen guys are that scandalous. Even if you're married, just be that friend. Just waiting. Waiting. They're just waiting for that chink, the moment of weakness, the moment of vulnerability of when your relationship hits a low point. And then as soon as you give him that opportunity, I'm telling you, that guy friend is swoop. In there. So that's why, like, for me, it's like when a girl, if I'm dating somebody and she says, "Oh, I have a guy friend," and she's not willing to let him go, I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because I like I said, because I know how guys are. They're not. And I'm not saying, like I said, if it's a guy friend, but like you don't spend no time with them, you happen to see them here and there, like once in a while. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like you guys are hanging out,
like doing every day.
Yeah, doing things together. I'm like, nah. No, that
something fishy is going on there.
That is not happening. So yeah, and also I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts. So, if you guys have some thoughts to what we just talked about right now, relationships, please drop a comment below. Share your thoughts. I'm interested to hear if you feel like there's guys can be really truly guys please explain and give me a good good example. And
Yeah.
also let me meet that guy. I'm interested. Let me get that show reveal to me that person as the true friend, because that's just something I know, for all guys out there. But yeah, I'm interested to hear. So but that was a good talk. Good talk about love, but relationships. A lot of people need to hear that. So thank you for sharing that.
All good.
and I know some guys out here in Australia that's watching this. If you're a hopeless romantic, if you have a horse in the backyard,
if you have a farm,
all right, yeah, this it's just right here. It's right here. But I want to ask you. I'm interested to hear about your passion, your goals, and your dreams for yourself. What motivates you? What inspires you? I'm just interested to hear that from every person on the guest. And what keeps you going in life? Every single day.
What keeps me going, honestly, is my family.
Yeah.
Yeah. My goal at the moment, the big picture kind of goal, is to make my parents' dreams come true by like getting their first property, something that they own in Australia, so they don't have to worry about rent and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And traveling is number one on my list. Like that, I know that's all I want to do. I just want to travel, meet people, experience what life is on other parts of the world. But yeah, that's me.
That's good.
Yeah, nothing career-wise. I just want to travel. Like I just work to provide and travel. Yeah.
So are you what do you call it? For you, it's like I want to ask. I'm just interested to hear like your how do you like when you deal with like negativity or like just tough times, like how do you deal with it? Like what how do you overcome like just because I feel like I'm always interested to hear the different perspective of how people deal with tough times, because in life we all gonna go through tough times and we're gonna go through struggles. And I know everybody deals in a different way. But I'm very interested for you when you have those, just those days. It's just tough, and those the down moments. Like, how do you deal with it to get yourself back up?
Okay. I have a lot of these days here and there. What I've come to learn is just accepting it. That's the first step. Journaling helps. If you don't want to talk to anyone, write it down. Journaling. Driving somewhere new with a nice scene.
Oh, nice.
Helps.
I like
so,
that one.
Yeah, I love driving to the beach or anywhere adventurous, like going on a hike just to see the view. It's always breathtaking, and it always makes me think. That's probably where most of my good ideas come from, and it's good. It's a good way to reflect on whatever you're going through and where you are in life, and where you want to go, because you're just there and it's quiet. It's a nice thing, you're just in your own thoughts in a nice headspace rather than being in your room dwelling in whatever you're going through. But yeah, I realized that sometimes you can't really control how you feel, so you just gotta be strong and wait it out, because it will pass.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are a few things that I do to help make it a little bit easier, I guess. Yeah. What else? Yeah, just journaling. Talking to someone about it helps as well. If you need a vent, let it out. But if you don't feel like talking, just write it down. And I love it. I love it because like now, like I used to do this at a couple of years back, and like now when I clean my room and I see some of my old journals, like I read it and it's like, wow, the growth. Yeah. The growth, man. It's amazing. Like, wow. Who were you a year ago? What the heck?
Who the hell is this girl?
Yeah.
You'd be like, you crazy.
Yeah. Like this, she was crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Exactly,
But yeah,
exactly. No,
yeah.
no, 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 that's actually one of the things I like. I tend to use. Sometimes you can't be. I have my moments, but I feel like sometimes, like especially if you have a goal, a dream, and you're trying to do better for your life, and then when life just ain't working out, sometimes it's much. Sometimes it's much. You're gonna feel more afraid if you try to keep looking forward. But sometimes it's good to look back at how far you've come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And
That's
I
one thing I
think
like.
that's
Yeah. Go ahead. Yep.
I think that's the main problem for me is like I've come to find is that whenever I am down and I'm stressed and have like anxiety and stuff, it's usually to do with a sense of security,
Yeah.
like within my family, because I'm such a planner. I plan ahead of everything, and then I'm too much in the future and I'm not enjoying the now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas like you just gotta slow down and enjoy where you are now,
Yeah.
because you've come so far
Yeah.
from what you have, and you didn't come here just to stay here. What was I trying to say? Yeah, you didn't
Oh.
come this far to just stay here.
All right.
Time to
Pre-
set some new goals and
preach.
set some new
Preach.
goals and start
Preach.
ticking off the list.
Preach it.
But yeah, it's not good to always just be focused on the future and where you're going.
Yeah.
Just enjoy what you have now, and setting little goals for yourself that you can achieve each day will get you to the bigger picture that you're trying to get to. So as long as you can achieve something today, you'll eventually get to your big goal.
Yeah, I think you said it best. I think early in the podcast, focusing on things you can control. And it's good. Like I said, it's good to have a vision for your future, because you do need a sense of direction of where to go. But like I said, just like driving a car, don't focus on your destination. Focus on what's in front of you in the car.
Yeah. If you are, you'll probably be in the hospital right now.
Yeah, don't look like 1 mile down ahead. No, look at what's in front of your car. You're gonna hit something. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Have a vision for where you want to go, but you always want to live in the moment and just focus on the next step. Because like you said, when you focus on things you can't control, especially in the future, like that's how we do tend to develop a lot of anxiety. But like you said, security, right? Certainty. When you focus on things you can control, which is your effort, that gives a lot of security and a lot of certainty for yourself. But if you focus on things that you have no control over with, then that gives you a lot of uncertainty. And it's always good to look back. Don't look. I never like to dwell on the past, but the only time I ever look in the past is just to see how far I've come. And especially, I do that a lot, especially when I'm just going through a lot, and then I just feel overwhelmed, and then I'm trying to read positive messages, and that's not working. to do positive affirmations, not working. I try to listen to positive music, start dancing, that's not working. And
look in the mirror and tell yourself,
that's not working.
That's not working.
And then whenever I look back to like of where I've come from Tonga and all the stuff, I'm like, oh, you know what, I've come so far. All the way from Tonga, I can't give up now. I can't.
I think just having that mindset, it could be worse.
Exactly. Things could be a lot worse. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. You got that preach. You got that preaching in you.
I feel like I'm a freaking therapist for my friends at this point. I gotta start charging them by the hour.
So no, hey, I forgot to ask you before. I know we were talking about dating relationships. I had a question I wrote here. I forgot to ask you. What is it with the guys out there in Australia?
What do you mean?
Like how are guys in Australia when it comes to like dating and trying to I'm always interested to hear because I always hear from the guys like in America, guys in New Zealand, and then guys from Australia. How is it what are guys like in Australia? Just for all my American listeners here, just they're interested.
Very childish. Childish, immature. Well, the guys I've come across are very childish and immature. I don't know. They're very closed off. but maybe it's because I can be an intimidating person. I don't know why. I think it's just the way my face is. I was one
Yeah,
of those girls that were like, oh, I thought you were a bitch when I first met you because of my face. But yeah, the guys I've come across lately, I don't know if they're shy or, not willing to open up, but I just feel like they have no vision or goal for themselves. So it's just like I kind of just show no interest. Like I go dry over messages if I feel like this conversation is just, hi, good morning, how are you? Kind of like repetitive kind of thing. Like I
yeah,
want to get to know you.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not that deep. It's not that deep with these guys out here. But I think they're just going through that phase, partying, going out, experimenting with other girls.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's fine. But I find myself wanting something a little bit more serious than that. Yeah.
All right.
What about the guys over there?
Same. Yeah. The guys are always the same, no matter which part of the world you are in.
Exactly.
But there are a lot of good guys. There are a lot of
Where
good
they
guys.
at though?
Okay, yeah, maybe give some of the guys that you've never thought of dating a shot. And they're just give them a shot. Ever thought about that?
I did, and then they messed up. So and they went all that either. So it's like to know.
Okay, got you.
Oh
All right.
my god.
I know. I guess I just I always believe it's timing is everything. It's gonna happen. When that time comes, it's gonna come.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to go into real quick. I want to talk about mental health. I feel like I'm interested in something that happens a lot within our community. And I know you talked. You mentioned some of those experiences in your own life, going through emotionally for yourself, and just going through your own struggles. Thank you for sharing that. The diary. I think that's really healthy. If you I know sometimes the Polynesians we can't express our emotions, so at least find an outlet, whatever it's speaking, whatever it's writing down on a piece of paper, on a diary. At least you're letting it go. So that's a very good method, especially when it comes to just dealing with your emotions. So yeah, can you talk about mental health for yourself, also with your friends? Your experiences with your friends. What do they do with mental health, and how you guys deal with it, and how is it seen and viewed within the someone Polynesian community out there that you're in Australia?
Yeah. So mental health, how it's seen in the Samoan Polynesian community. I feel like they just brush it under the rug and be like, oh, it's not real. But I feel like that's because of the way they were brought up. They had challenges back in the old days, back where they grew up, but they never had to deal with there's different kind of stress. They never had to deal with the stress that we go through now as this generation. So they don't know any better. So they think it's not real because they've never experienced it. Or maybe they haven't.
No, I think our parents, the elder generation, has experienced it, but they're not aware of it. They don't know. They don't know they're depressed.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they just hit us.
Yeah, that's the outlet.
That's the outlet. But they don't know. They don't know.
Like, is everything all right at home?
I'm like, hey, I was like, I just got home. I didn't do anything.
How's your state of mind?
Am I getting punished for something I haven't done yet?
Why are we like this?
But
I feel like they don't believe in it. They don't believe that it's real. But me growing up, I feel like the community now, it's much better. Like there are people in the youth that are shedding some light onto it. In Australia, yeah, I think there's a group of females that have gone pretty big. Like they've gone out to the community. I actually attended one of their classes, and they brought together the old generation, the new generation, and they started a conversation, which I thought was really good. And you would even witness, some of the old generation, like, accepting it and, actually listening and being willing to hear out what their kids are going through. And I feel like that's a good start. And what else? I feel like our parents want nothing more than just us to be okay and, be well. Like they would love nothing more than to know that we are going to be fine. My own personal experiences, like now I know some people that are going through it, and I don't know if I should share this.
You don't say names. You don't say names, but just talk about the experience.
It's within my own family, and I have I've been one to speak up, like lately, and it's just like I know someone that I love is going through something, and to see them be treated unfairly, I did speak up, and I was like, you going off at them was wrong because you never saw the other side of the story. You don't really know what happened. And then I got told, oh, well, do you know what happened? Like you weren't here. And then I just kind of turned around and I was like, well, do you know what she's going through in her head? Do you know mentally what she's going through? No. So like, it's just going to take one day for her to, crack her shit. And then it's going to be too late to listen. Because she's done it already. There's no going back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like it was eye-opening to the adult that I told. And it's been much better now. I think just speaking up about it as well.
Were they mad? Were they like, how did they respond to you with that for speaking up? Did they take offense?
No, they were quiet.
Yeah.
And I didn't pay any attention to it. I just walked off. I was like, I'm not going to hear this. So I went and I spoke to my loved one that was hurt and, just emotional because I could see that she was crying. She was really hurt. And you don't know what anyone is going through.
Yeah.
You have no idea. So you to just lash out and you don't know what she's going through. Like I could see she was going through something because she was literally like scratching the back of her hands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, don't do that. And she was just so mad. So, I spoke to her, I let her know. I tried to make her understand, like, I know what you're going through. Like I grew up, dealing with that and there's no changing it. But, I'm here. I'm here to listen. I'm here if you want to talk, when you're ready to talk. And yeah, it made the situation a lot better. She feels safe. Like she has someone to talk to and be the outlet if things do get too intense. But yeah, I feel like it's a big issue because you see the happiest people, you don't know what they're going through. The happiest people are most likely the ones that do take their own life because it gets too much in here. And they have no one to talk to. They feel like they can't open up to anyone. So yeah, it's good now that we have the younger generation doing something about it and, bringing in the old generation to try and make them understand. And I think they are open to understanding because they see it so often now, kids taking their own lives because they feel like they can't open up to anyone and they're going through all sorts of things in life. And they are now willing to listen because they see so many examples of that happening where it's then too late to do something about it and be like, oh, okay, let's see what's going on here. But yeah. What was your other question? How do you deal with mental health?
Yeah. No, I just wanted to add on to what you said. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. And whoever that friend is, if you're watching right now, I'll just say much love to you, please. But big hug all the way from Cali, big hug all the way from California. But I just want to say, express my love and to your friend also. But thank you for sharing. By the way, yeah, that's something that's just want to add that to everybody that's watching and understand that we regardless of what you did, you know, that shouldn't define who you are, and just, but also, you know, whatever you feel, those feelings, you just gotta embrace, like you said, embrace those feelings and then let it go and move on. I know a lot of times, especially in the Polynesian community, and then you said it best, you don't really understand what somebody's going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of times, you know, our community is bad when it comes to shame and criticism, you know. As much as as much as we go to church every Sunday, like some of the things I see from people's mouths come out, like, oh my God.
Nah. I reckon showing up and going to church doesn't mean anything if your heart's not in it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like we have to understand that I think I did a podcast. I don't know if you've seen it, but I just released a podcast yesterday with Diamond Lungi. I don't know if you know her. But she said something really good and like relates to what we was talking about, unconditional love. That we've lost that unconditional love from our families, and like that's I feel like unconditional love is like the essence of Jesus Christ. That's what the whole Bible is for, is teaching us about unconditional love, not to judge somebody else, and to understand somebody else and what they're going through, and bring people together. And I feel like as a community, we've lost that, you know, because of whatever. But at the same time, I don't understand why, you know, everybody's going through their own thing. Also, I do understand that sometimes when people criticize, you know, they're going through their own issues at home, and then they're just releasing their hate towards other people. But that doesn't mean it's right, you know.
Yeah.
Just because you're going through shit doesn't mean you can go out there and make other people feel like shit, you know. All right.
They're using the wrong outlet.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just keep your shit to yourself. Respectfully. I just want to say that with fuck up and respect. You know, like you said, like, I mean, honestly, like I go through my own stuff. It doesn't mean I'm gonna go around and, you know, and just make people's life miserable because I'm going through stuff. I'm gonna deal with it with my own as a man, but at the same time, I'm not gonna spread it to anybody else, because I already know how it feels like to be in pain already. Why would I want to inflict that on somebody else? So it's just, and I feel like we've lost that, you know. I don't know, you know, just because of culture, because of you know, like I said, depending on how you grew up, but we've really lost that. In our Polynesian community, the essence of unconditional love, to just, and because like I say, it's our own people at the end of the day. That's why the way I see it. Like, you know, when I see you, like, I just see like, oh, any Polynesian, I feel like I'm just looking at my own brother and sister, like, and then when I see other Polynesians like hurting other Polynesian, I'm like, dang, like you don't feel like you know, I'm just like, you don't feel like you're hurting your own family member, like, you know, that's just the way I see it. Of course, I treat all people the same, but it's just I have a deeper connection with my own people because we look alike. Well, we look alike.
I feel like with our people, there is like a lot of that going on when you see someone going far or doing good in life, and you know, you try to bring them down. And I feel like it's because it's within their own insecurity.
Like, of course.
They see someone, they see someone similar to them, you know, they grew up the exact same way. How come they're here and I'm here?
Yeah.
So it's like, just gotta focus on yourself. If you focus too much on what the other person is doing, you're gonna take that focus away from what you could be doing with your potential and where you could be going.
Yeah. And that's why I just want to say for everybody out there, like, you know, if you're going through some issues and life is just not working out, if you made a mistake, whatever it is, just understand it. I think you said it in the podcast, like, you know, it will pass. You know, the most important thing is growth. You know, learn from it, grow from it. But it's, you know, never gonna, one decision would never, unless you never improve your decisions. But, you know, one decision, if you're always growing, one decision will never define your life because you're constantly growing.
Yeah.
But if you're stuck somewhere and you know, you don't do anything to change your life, then of course that decision can be the defining moment if you never do anything to improve it. So there's always better, you know, they will also just let you know there are people out there that will help you, you know. And a lot of times when you're going through a lot of stuff and your family's all against you. I know sometimes you can feel like you're alone because everybody's against you, even your own family's against you. And then your biggest critics and biggest critics is always comes from your own family. Unfortunately, that's just how it is in real life. But there are a lot of people out there. I love that you mentioned those two girls who are trying to make a difference in Australia, with mental health, bringing awareness. But there's a lot of resources, a lot of information out there, social media, that you can just, there's definitely people out there that will always be willing to hear your story and understand you. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I started this podcast, was just so we can talk about things and let it out and not hold things in. I do want to ask you also for you personally, what were your insecurities growing up as a Samoan woman? Like, what was your insecurities?
Oh God, where do I start?
Bring the journal out. Bring the journal out and read that journal.
I'd say my biggest insecurity was my body image.
Yeah,
I had a lot of insecurity about that. I think it's because of I think the way we were brought up. Like, you couldn't win. Like, when you see relatives, it's either you've gone too big or you're too skinny, you look sick. Like, what's wrong with you? Not only that, but like the social media coming in, you see all what the world depicts as the perfect body. And Samoan women, we're built different.
Of course, Polynesians are built different.
Big bones. I was very insecure about my calves.
Yeah,
I had very big calves. Although other people loved it. Like they wanted my calves, and I was like, "Do you want to switch? Like, go get surgery right now if that was possible." But that was my insecurity, body image. Other things like just being compared to, and I think that's the reason why in our community there's this thing where our own people are bringing us down, is because there's a lot of comparison, saying, "Oh, look at what she's doing, like, why aren't you doing that, why aren't you doing this?" And that can make you insecure as a person, and it can make you hate on that person's growth and that person, or whatever that person is doing, and then all your focus goes on that, and then you're left stuck where you're at. But that's about it. That's all I have for now. Yeah.
Did you have the traditional shorts and t-shirt when you went to the beach?
Yeah, I did. I did. I'd say it was out of respect for the elders, but if I had the body, man, I would have been rocking a freaking bikini.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I want to ask you, because I know that's something that I always hear from a lot of Polynesian. I do understand the in our culture, they expect you guys to cover up, right? But do you feel like sometimes, because they always tell you to cover up, you don't think that indirectly, that psychologically they're making you insecure about your own body by telling you to cover up?
Yeah, and I see it all the time.
Because if they always tell you cover up, then sometimes you're like, I don't know. I'm just asking you, but I feel like that if somebody keeps telling you to cover up out your body, then you're like, what's wrong with my body? I don't know. Ever thought about it that way? Yeah.
100%. Yeah, 100% it does. I've seen it happen with. I think it's not what they're saying, but it's the delivery.
Got you. Yeah.
There's a much better way in saying it, and I've caught some people within my own family doing it, and I'm like, if you keep telling her like that, I've literally told them off, like, if you keep telling her like that, she's gonna become insecure about herself. Like, tell her nicely, it doesn't. Let her down easy.
Can you give me an example how they say it? So for everybody here.
Someone.
Yeah, say it someone. if you can.
I don't know. No, I'm not gonna say it.
Okay, it's all good.
But yeah, it's like I've seen it and it's pretty brutal. Like, I've gone through it too. Like, it's not nice. the delivery of that message. It could be better, and I think we can do better for the future and to educate our elders.
Yeah. There's always like I don't know, when you go to family reunions, there's always that one auntie that just like, that just
There's
degrades
always
it.
that one.
Just talks a lot of shit,
Yeah.
But especially and sometimes when I look at those aunties, like you're shaming her body, but I am looking at you right
now. I'm just like, who is you?
I'm like, have you looked at yourself?
Yeah. Now how I deal with it, it's like, does that person really matter to me? Does their opinion matter to me? No.
Yeah.
Invalid. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. No, it's thank you for sharing that, by the way, because I do know there's a lot of Polynesian. I know a lot of Polynesian girls out there that some of them in my family as well. They feel insecure, and of course as Polynesians, you guys already know we're built different, y'all. We're built. We are built different, but but just one of the things. One of my favorite I guess principles or quotes is like, it's our differences that are what makes us beautiful, and I truly believe that, it's like, it's what makes us different is what makes us unique, and what makes us unique is what makes us beautiful. Like if every flower was like the same, then I wouldn't know what beauty is. If there's one flower that's different, it looks more beautiful. So the same thing with you. I know we live in a social media world where we're just constantly comparing ourselves to all these beautiful people and what our bodies should look like. But honestly, like I said, there's what makes a difference, what makes it beautiful. As Polynesian, we're beautiful in our own way. You just gotta drown out all the negative talk or some negative self-talk within yourself and the negative people that have been telling you that you were not beautiful. Because sometimes we feel like we're not beautiful, not because we think we're not beautiful, because somebody implanted that thought into you to tell you you're not beautiful. But so I just want to say that we love everybody out there, all the Polynesian brothers and sisters, and that we're all beautiful. But I just want to keep it real with y'all. Take care of yourself. All right. I just want to keep it real with y'all. We are beautiful, but there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. Taking care of and be healthy. All right. If so I just wanted to be real with you, because sometimes I do see a lot of people that complain about not feeling beautiful, but they don't do anything to take care of themselves. All right. So like I said, you have to take care of yourself, and you can't expect, that feeling beautiful is something you work on is part of the self-love journey. And any self-love journey is going to require work ethic. You're not just going to wake up and be like, I'm beautiful. No, it's something you work on every single day. It's positive affirmation. It's taking care of your body, treating your body with respect, giving it the right nutrients it needs, expanding your mind, developing a relationship with God. If you think you're just gonna wake up one day and just feel like you're beautiful, and I'm telling you, it's not gonna happen. We all, it doesn't matter who you are. We all have insecurities. If you I don't know if you I do a lot of podcasts, and I watch a lot of podcasts, but sometimes I watch podcasts from celebrities, like celebrities, they're and then they even talk about their own insecurities, and they're celebrities, So everybody has their own insecurities. So, but like I said, it's something that you have to constantly work on every single day. Something you just can't wake up one day and think. And it's very important. And I want you guys to know your worth and know your value, because that is so important, to know that you're beautiful without anybody telling you you're beautiful. Because if you're confident in your own beauty and you need the validation of people, then you're more susceptible to falling for toxic people. You're gonna fall for that one guy who's gonna be like, "Hey, what's up, beautiful?" And you think he actually thinks you're beautiful, but But like you said, when you know your worth and you know your value, then you'll be able to attract the right people that is going to treat you that way. But if you don't know your own value and beauty within yourself, and then you're always constantly seeking validation from people, because one thing I know about people, they will never, if you allow people to walk all over you and treat you the way you want to be treated or say what they want to say to you, they're going to always treat you less than what you want them to treat. So that's why you have to know your worth. So
yeah,
just wanted to share that with you guys. And thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your insecurities with everybody.
Anytime.
Really appreciate that for all the girls out there and the men too. We all have insecurities as well. I do want to just finish off our podcast with I know you had some subjects you wanted to talk about, some things, and I know you wanted to talk about the traditional give money thing topic. Yeah, if you want to speak up about that or talk about that, give your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I feel like I have brought it up. Like
I think we brought up. If you wanted to ask some things, just wanted to ask.
Yeah, I believe in the concept of giving and receiving more. So, and I feel like in our generation, it just depends on the situation, the family state, and how intense it is. Like I see some families do force their kids to, literally work for them because the kid isn't receiving any amount of the pay that they're getting. And that is pretty bad. I don't know how they would handle that, but I was fortunate enough to have parents who wanted me to save and wanted me to work for myself and learn how to save. And what I want to add to that is my parents basically brought me up to make me decide if I should contribute. They said that one thing my grandfather said to my mom was, we don't have investments, but we do invest in our family. And I've recently experienced like how we give money to when there's a funeral and stuff. I've recently experienced a friend of mine with a passing in her family, and I just realized how much money goes into a
funerals. Oh yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, I just realized that. I was like, whoa, revelation. And one thing that can put people, well, I don't know, this is what I think, but one thing that can put our generation's mind at ease with that whole concept of giving money when there's a death is, it wouldn't be your day. It's their day today, but it could be yours tomorrow. So, you don't have to worry about the financial state because everyone in your family will be contributing if it happened to someone, a member of your family. So I feel like that's our investment. So we don't have investments, but we do invest in our family. And I truly believe that. I feel like it'd be so stress-free after what I've experienced recently. It is expensive. That's a lot. But yeah, that's what I want to add to that. And to all my brothers and sisters who are stuck between wanting financial freedom and trying to secure the bag for mum and dad to give them and yourself a better life. If you believe you could do both and find that balance, go hard. Just me personally, I can't find it in my heart to just up and leave and run away. But it's your gamble. If you believe you can leave for a bit and be successful in the coming years, and then it could, like I've seen my cousin do it. Like he's left, he's worked hard, and now he's in a state where if his family needed something, he could just pay for it. Here you go. He could provide because of those sacrifices he took. So if you believe you can sacrifice that, then do that. But there's always a way. You always have a choice. You don't have to be stuck where you are. Yeah.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you for sharing that. By the way, but yeah, I guess just to piggyback what you said about the giving, yeah, that's something. I always believe in when it comes to giving, just make sure you're keeping, you make sure you give from a full cup. Make sure your cup is full.
Before you.
Yeah, if your cup is empty and you're empty, and
You won't do your
mostly,
best.
yeah, even if you do give from an empty cup, it's not even much. So it's better off to make sure you take care of yourself, love yourself first, and because at the end of the day, I know we all love our families, and I know sometimes that you can, community, they can make it seem like doing something for yourself can be seen as selfish. But like we just talked about it in this podcast, it all depends on the perspective of somebody. That somebody that's never known your decisions and what you've gone through in your life can see that as selfish. But they don't know what you went through. They don't know the sacrifices you made. They don't know the things that you're going through mentally, emotionally. So you should always never. And one thing I can just say is like, always do what's best for you, because when you do what's best for you, that means you're happy, you're growing, you're getting better. And then the more happy you are, the more better you are, the more full your cup becomes. And then more you can give back. You can give back. And for me, I've made it a responsibility to like prioritize myself, not because of me, but it's honestly because I know that when I'm more happy and when I grow, when I become a better man, I'm able to give more to my family. And for me, like, I don't want to just be broken and miserable, because I know, like, if I'm a broken man and miserable man, then that's nothing bad. I can't do anything being like that to my family. And also, just want to put it out there for everybody, how important it is to take care of yourself, because one thing I do see within our community is like, a lot of people not knowing the awareness to the boundaries, to be able to have boundaries for themselves, to take care of themselves. So a lot of them are miserable and unhappy. And one thing I do a lot of see is a lot of Polynesian women and men, having kids, but they're becoming broken dads and broken moms. And I feel like that's something that also encourages me to like love myself first, to take care of me, because I don't want to have kids one day and I'm broken. And it just repeat that cycle within my own kids, because I'm a broken father. And for Sally, I see that a lot, that's why there's so many cycles of broken families, because the parents are broken to begin with. So that's why I feel like it's important to, I feel like we have to stop it with us. So, whatever I've gone through in my life, I want to stop it with me. I don't want to have to continue on to my future kids one day, or, anybody that gets born after me within my family. So I feel like, we should have some understand that take care of yourself, love yourself, not only for yourself, but you can give back to your family, but just, also for like that responsibility for the future generation. So that way, all that suffering stops with you and doesn't continue on. And which is the purpose of my podcast. I like the whole purpose of this is to start this conversation so we can figure out solutions. I know we shared our experiences on this podcast, and I know some of you guys might agree, might disagree. Like I told you guys before, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the right or wrong answer is. But at least we can just share and give you guys a perspective. But like everything in life, it still comes to you at the end of the day, your choice, right? So it's still your choice. So the best thing to do is just get the right information, like everything. Like you said you're a planner. You like to plan things. So right, same thing when you plan. The same thing, even when you plan out your life, like just like, and you know this already. When you plan something, it's not 100% guaranteed it's going to work out.
Nope.
Right? But
we're Polynesians.
Exactly. And just like life, when you plan your life, it doesn't matter how much information you get. But the thing is, there's so many things that you can't foresee and you can't predict. But it is good to get the right information so you can try to make the best decisions, because when you get the right information, put in the effort and do your due diligence, it prepare you so you don't face a lot more mistakes. You get minimal mistakes, but it's much easier. And the same thing with when it comes to self-love, self-happiness, do what's best for you. Get the right information from the right people. Don't listen to those negative and criticism and toxic people. Surround yourself with positive people, the right people. Get the right information. To focus on yourself. Take care of yourself. Fix yourself. Heal yourself. Grow yourself. And then by doing that, you'll be able to make some great decisions. And I feel you still make mistakes here and there, but it's be minimal mistakes, right? But it won't be like some big mistakes.
Because you know better.
Yeah, exactly. So the same thing. So we just wanted to share our perspective on this podcast, give you guys our perspective on things, but it's ultimately up to you what you do with what we share, and always make the best choice for you. Okay, that's a. Want to just leave it off with that. Okay.
Preach.
Thank you. I'm available Monday to Saturday and all on Sundays.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I guess we've come to the end of the podcast. Melda, thank you so much. I really enjoyed the podcast. It was really, really fun. Thank you so much for having the courage to share your life story today. And a lot of people don't know it does take a lot of courage to get on here and put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And
I was
share
like,
your life.
should I do this? Is it too late to back out?
Well, too late now.
We're here now.
But thank you so much for doing this. I'm very grateful. And the fact that you not only did it for yourself, but also for the people that's watching. And mad respect to you. Much love to you. Big hug, review. Big hug. All the way from Cali. Thank you so much. The one thing I always ask every guest on every show is if you could leave off the show with some final thoughts, some final words. That's something I always ask every show. Can you leave? Can you just leave some final thoughts, some final words of wisdom, and then we'll just leave off the show with that.
Yeah. Okay. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I love that you're providing a platform and a safe space for our people to, start those conversations and, just to start those conversations so you can be the one to break those generational curses. And to all my brothers and sisters out there who are on lockdown, you have a choice. Just do it. Be the one to break the generational cycle. Otherwise, you'll just be stuck and you'll repeat it again and again. But yeah, I urge you to find the courage within you to do it because you can. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching the podcast. I'm going to go ahead and press the stop button. I'm going to talk to you right after. Okay.
Cool.
Give me 1 second.